The Unexpected Gift. HFY Sci-Fi story Captain Rylan stood quietly on the alien battlefield, his boots covered in dust, smoke still rising from the burning wreckage behind him. The war was finally over. The Thalorians, an alien species known for their beauty and calm nature, were safe. And it was all because of him and his human squad. Rylan didn't fight for rewards. He fought to protect the innocent. Still, when the Thalorian High Council asked to see him, he didn't say no. They led him through glowing halls of crystal and gold, into the center of their palace. The grand chamber was silent when he entered. Tall aliens with long robes and glowing eyes watched him with great respect. At the center stood the High Elder, holding a strange ceremonial staff. Next to him stood a smaller figure. A girl. Her skin shimmered softly, like moonlight on water. Her long silver hair fell over her shoulders, and her large violet eyes stared directly at Rylan. "This," the elder said in a deep voice, "is Princess Alira, daughter of our sacred line. We offer her to you as a reward." Rylan blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" The chamber stayed quiet. "You saved our world," the elder continued, "and in return, we offer you the highest gift a Thalorian can give, a bond with our princess." Rylan stepped back. "I didn't come here for this. I don't want to own anyone, especially not a person." Princess Alira tilted her head. She stepped forward slowly and placed a hand on his chest. "I belong to you now," she said in a soft, musical voice. "It is our way." Before he could answer, she suddenly dropped to her knees and wrapped her arms tightly around his leg. Rylan looked around, shocked. Is this some kind of misunderstanding? But no one moved to stop her. "She has chosen you," one of the guards whispered. "The bond has already begun." Rylan felt a chill run through his body. "Bond? What bond?" Alira looked up at him. "When we give ourselves to a warrior, we mean forever. I am yours, and you are mine." He tried to gently pull his leg away, but she only held tighter. She didn't seem afraid. She seemed ... content. "Please," he said, "I don't want a bond. I just want to go home." Alira's eyes filled with a strange glow. "You are my home now." That night, Rylan was given a guest room in the palace. Alira followed him everywhere. She sat beside him at dinner. She watched him sleep from a chair in the corner. Every time he moved, she moved too. He tried asking questions. "What does this bond do? Can it be undone?" She only smiled. "The bond chooses us, not the other way around." The next morning, things got worse. While Rylan washed his face in the mirror, he saw something glowing on his skin. A small mark had appeared near his collarbone, a faint golden symbol. He rushed out of the room. "What is this?" he shouted. Alira looked at him calmly and pulled back her robe. The same symbol glowed on her shoulder. "It means we are linked now," she said softly. "Your life and mine are one." Rylan stared at her. "What happens if I leave this planet?" "You will feel pain," she said. "The bond will pull us back together." "And if I break it?" Alira's eyes grew sad. "You can't, but if you try, the bond may punish us both." Before he could say more, a group of guards entered the room. They knelt before Rylan. "My lord," one said, "you must come with us. The council has news." He followed them to the chamber again. This time, the mood was different. The elder looked nervous. "There are those who do not support this bond," he said. "Some see it as a weakness, a threat to the old ways. They may try to harm the princess, or you." Rylan clenched his jaw. "I didn't ask for this, but I won't let anyone hurt her." The elder nodded. "Then protect her as her mate. Her life is in your hands." That evening, as Rylan sat in the garden, Alira sat beside him. She reached for his hand. "I know you didn't choose me," she said, "but I chose you, not just because of duty. I saw your soul during the battle. I saw your courage. I saw your kindness." Rylan looked at the glowing mark again. It pulsed, gently, like a heartbeat. This wasn't what he wanted, but it was too late to walk away. Bonded. Rylan couldn't sleep. The glowing mark on his skin itched like fire. He had tried everything: cold water, scrumming, even a medical scan from his ship's kit, but nothing worked. The symbol was alive, not like a tattoo. It pulsed with light, like it was breathing, and every time it pulsed, he felt something strange. A whisper in the back of his mind, a feeling that wasn't his own dot in the quiet of the palace room. He looked over. Princess Alira was standing by the window, bathed in soft blue moonlight. She wasn't sleeping either. "Can you feel it too?" Rylan asked. Alira didn't turn. "Yes," she whispered. "You're angry. You're scared. You feel trapped." Rylan sat up. "How do you know that?" She finally turned her head. "Because I feel it too." The next morning, the High Elder called Rylan to the throne chamber. His face was tight with concern. "The bond is accelerating," the Elder said. "It should take weeks to fully awaken, but your connection, it's already deep." Rylan folded his arms. "Then undo it. Break it. There must be a way." The Elder looked down. "There is no way. And if it continues to grow like this, your minds will become one." Rylan stepped back. "You mean she'll read my thoughts? And you'll feel hers," the Elder said. "You'll see her memories, her pain, her fears." Rylan clenched his fists. "This isn't a reward. This is a trap." Suddenly, the doors flew open. A palace guard stumbled in bleeding. "They've returned," the guard gasped. "The shadow priests. They want the princess." The Elder's eyes widened. "We must hide her." Rylan turned to Alira, who had entered behind him. Her eyes were calm, but her hands trembled slightly. "Who are the shadow priests?" Rylan asked. Alira answered softly. "They are the ones who once tried to end the royal line. They believe in blood sacrifice and darkness. They disappeared years ago. But now they know about you." Rylan stared. "Me? Why would they care about me?" Alira walked closer. "Because you carry the mark, and that mark can only bond with a royal heir. You're not just my protector now, Rylan. You're the last piece of a prophecy." Later that night, Rylan and Alira were moved to a safer part of the palace deep underground, protected by ancient force fields. As they walked through dark tunnels lit by glowing stones, Alira began to shiver. "You okay?" Rylan asked. She looked at him. "I feel something cold, something wrong." Rylan stopped walking. He felt it too, a chill in the air, a pressure in his chest. He reached for his blaster. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and in the shadows, eyes opened. A figure stepped forward, dressed in black robes, face hidden by a bone-white mask. More followed. Rylan raised his weapon. "Stay back." But the lead figure raised a hand, and Rylan's body locked in place. He couldn't move. His arms, his legs frozen. Only his eyes moved. The masked figure spoke in a voice like smoke. "The bond is not meant to exist. The prophecy must be broken." Alira stepped in front of Rylan. "You will not take him." A figure tilted its head. "And you will die together." A blast of dark energy shot toward them, but in that moment, the mark on Rylan's chest burned like fire. A wave of golden light exploded from his body. The shadow priests were thrown back, screaming. Their masks cracked. Their robes caught fire. The tunnel walls shook and then silence. Rylan fell to the ground, breathing hard. The mark on his chest faded slowly. "What? What was that?" he whispered. Alira knelt beside him, eyes wide. "The bond is protecting us. But it's not just emotional anymore. It's becoming something greater. Rylan looked at his hands. You said this was a connection. You didn't say it could be a weapon. Alira whispered. I didn't. No. The palace guards finally arrived. The remaining shadow priests vanished into the dark dot as Rylan and Alira were helped back to safety. One thing became clear. This wasn't just a bond, it was a force. And someone or something wanted to control it. The bond deepens. Captain Rylan had survived wars, ambush, and alien beasts. But nothing had ever made his heart race like this glowing mark on his chest. It wasn't just a bond, no. It had power, raw, ancient power. It had saved them from the shadow priests, and that terrified him more than anything else. Rylan sat in a quiet healing chamber, breathing slowly. Alira sat beside him, holding a small glowing orb. Her skin was pale. Her hands shook. You shouldn't have used the bond. Like that, she whispered. You could have died. Rylan looked down at the fading light on his chest. It used me. I didn't choose it. Alira's eyes filled with worry. And it's beginning faster than we thought. Rylan narrowed his eyes. What do you mean? She stood up and paced the room. There's something I didn't tell you about the bond. Rylan rose to his feet. Start talking. Alira took a breath. The royal bond wasn't made for peace. It was created during the old wars, when our kind needed weapons. A bonded pair could channel power together. Emotions became energy. Pain became force. Love became fire. Rylan stared. You turned love into a weapon? She nodded. But it was dangerous. Unstable. Some pairs burned entire cities. He clenched his fists. And now I'm part of that weapon. No, she said softly. You are the weapon. That night, Rylan couldn't sleep. Again. Every time he closed his eyes, visions flooded his mind. Memories, but not his. He saw a young Alira, crying as fire rained from the sky. He saw her father's death. Her mother's voice saying, hide. The air bond her to a protector, to someone pure. And then, darkness. He jolted awake, gasping for air. Alira stood at the door watching him. You saw it, she said. Didn't you? Rylan nodded slowly. How am I seeing your memories? Our minds are merging, she said. Soon you'll feel what I feel, know what I know. He stepped toward her. Then tell me this. Why does someone want you? Dead so badly? She looked away. Because I'm not just the princess. She turned back, her voice steady now. I'm the last living key to the Crown Core, the power that rules Thaler. If I die, control passes to the Council. And they are not what they seem. Rylan followed her through secret palace tunnels until they reached a sealed chamber. Inside was a floating crystal, a massive glowing core that pulsed like a living heart. This is the Crown Core, Alira said. It controls every Thalorian mind link, every ancient defense system, every ship in the royal fleet. Rylan walked closer, staring at its power. If someone else gets this, he said, they could rule your people. Alira nodded. Or destroy them. Suddenly, the chamber lights flickered. An alarm rang out. They weren't alone. A figure in a stolen guard uniform stepped from the shadows, blaster raised. His eyes were cold. His voice was human. You should have stayed on Earth, Captain. Rylan froze. You're human? The man smiled darkly. Earth Command knew about the bond. They sent me here months ago. They want the core. They want the girl. And they want you out of the way. Rylan raised his own blaster, but the agent fired first. The shot hit Alira. She collapsed. No, Rylan roared. He dropped beside her, but then something happened. Bond flared. Rylan felt her pain like it was his own. The wound on her shoulder burned on his body too, The mark on his chest exploded in golden light. His body rose from the floor. Surrounded in energy, the traitor stepped back, frightened. But it was too late. Raylan's scream shattered the crystal walls. The traitor was thrown across the room. Raylan dropped to his knees beside Alira, breathing heavily. "Stay with me, please." She opened her eyes slowly, smiling weakly. "You felt it, didn't you?" "My pain?" Raylan nodded. "And I felt yours," she whispered. "We're one now, truly." In the palace above, whispers spread. The warrior from Earth has awakened the bond. He felt her pain and lived. They are no longer two. They are something else now, and far away, in a dark corner of the galaxy. Someone watched through a hidden feed, an old Thalorian in a silver mask. He leaned forward and said, "Begin the final phase. The bonded one must die before the crown awakens." The hidden war asterisk Captain Raylan had faced death before, but never like this. Princess Alira lay in the recovery chamber, her body weak, her skin cold. The bond had saved her, but just barely. And Raylan could still feel her pain inside his own chest, like a slow-burning fire. He stood beside her, staring at her still face. "I'll protect you," he whispered. "Even if the whole galaxy turns against us." Hours later, the High Elder called him to a secret council chamber. Only 3 people were present. All of them looked nervous. The Elder didn't waste time. "You need to hear the truth. About Thaler, about the rebellion, about Earth." Raylan folded his arms. "Start talking." The Elder took a deep breath. "The war you helped end was never really about peace. It was about control. The Council wants full command of the Crown Corps, but they can't access it without Alira. Only a royal bonded with an outsider has the key." Raylan's eyes narrowed. "So I'm the key?" "The Elder nodded. "Yes, and that makes you a threat. To them. To the rebels. To your own people." Raylan frowned. "What do you mean, my people?" Another counselor stepped forward. "We intercepted messages. Earth Command has been secretly supporting the rebels. In exchange for alien tech, your leaders betrayed you." Raylan's mind spun. He had trusted Earth, fought for it, bled for it, and now he was a pawn in something far bigger than he ever imagined. He stormed out of the chamber, his fists clenched, his heart pounding. He needed answers, and he knew where to get them. Deep beneath the palace, in the darkest prison cell, sat the man who shot Alira, Agent Cross. Earth intelligence officer. Human traitor Raylan entered the cell. No guards, just him and Cross. "You're lucky she lived," Raylan growled. Cross smiled. "Is she awake yet? Did she cry your name when the bond flared?" Raylan punched him in the face. Blood ran from Cross's nose, but he laughed. "You still don't get it, do you?" "Get what?" Raylan hissed. "You were never meant to survive." "This mission," Cross said, "you were just the spark. Earth doesn't want peace with the Thalorians. We want control. The bond was our key to the core. But now it's bonded too deep, and you've gone rogue." Raylan stepped back. "You used me," Cross chuckled. "Everyone's using everyone, Captain. That's how the galaxy works." Raylan left the cell, heart racing, back in Alira's room. She was finally awake. Her voice was weak. "You look angry." "I am," he said. "Everything we thought was real, was a lie." Alira slowly sat up. "Then we stop lying. We fight back." Raylan stared at her. "Fight who?" She looked at him with steady eyes. "Everyone." That night, they escaped the palace. Together. With help from a loyal guard. They took a cloaked cruiser and flew into the mountains, toward an old outpost where Alira said her mother once hid during wartime. As they flew, Raylan looked at her. "You sure you're strong enough for this?" Alira smiled faintly. You forget we're bonded now. Your strength is my strength. The bond pulsed between them again, gentle, warm, steady. They didn't speak, but their thoughts were already in sync. The outpost was cold and silent. But, not empty. Inside, they found something unexpected. A secret room filled with messages, battle maps, and strange recordings. One of them showed Earth Command officers shaking hands with Thalorian rebels. Another showed Crown Core systems being accessed. Remotely from a human base, Raylan played one last recording. It was Alira's mother. She looked afraid. If you're seeing this, then the Council betrayed me. The bond must not be used for war. It is a living force, dangerous, beautiful, and alive. Only love can control it. If hatred infects it, it will destroy everything. Rylan turned to Alira. Your mother knew. She tried to stop this. Alira nodded. And now we must finish what she started. Outside the outpost, the sky turned red. A storm was coming. And above them, hidden in orbit, an unknown ship locked onto their location. Inside the ship, a cloaked figure watched the glowing bond signature on a monitor. Found them, the figure. Whispered, prepare the extraction team. We take the core and burn the rest. Escape from Thalorth's sky cracked open. Explosions lit the mountaintop as plasma fire rained down. Rocks split. Ancient trees burned. The enemy had found them. Rylan shoved open the outpost doors, blaster drawn, eyes scanning the sky. Above, a black ship hovered, sleek, silent, and deadly. No markings. No warnings. Only purpose. Capture or kill. Inside, Alira grabbed her satchel of memory crystals and ran to him. They're jamming the palace signals, she shouted. We can't call. For help, Rylan grabbed her hand. Then we help ourselves. They ran down a hidden mountain path, dodging falling debris. Behind them, black-cloaked soldiers dropped from the enemy ship on anti-grav wings. Silent hunters. Rylan turned and fired. One soldier dropped. Another ducked and fired back. Go! He shouted to Alira, but she didn't run. Instead, she reached for him, and the bond glowed between them. Their marks pulsed in sync. Suddenly, time felt slower. Raylan could see the plasma bolt before it reached them. He moved faster, smoother, like his instincts were upgraded. He fired 3 times perfect aim. The soldiers collapsed. Rylan looked at her, stunned. What was that? Alira blinked. The bond. It's evolving again. They reached an old launch pad, a broken skimmer parked beside it. Raylan cursed. It's half frozen. Alira placed her palm on the engine core. Her mark lit up, and so did the ship. It powered on, shaking off the frost. Rylan raised an eyebrow. Remind me to thank your ancestors later. They climbed in, just as another group of black soldiers closed in. The skimmer lifted off fast. But the enemy ship followed. High above Thalor's surface, Raylan and Alira raced through the clouds. Where do we go? She asked. Rylan checked the nav screen. There's a dead zone, no comms, no scans. If we make it there, we vanish. But the enemy ship was gaining fast. A blast rocked the skimmer's side. Warning lights flashed. Power was dropping. We won't make it, Alira said. Rylan gritted his teeth. Yes, we will. He handed her the control stick. Fly. What are you doing? She asked. He didn't answer. Instead, he climbed into the weapons pod. Alira flew fast and low, weaving through cloud banks and electrical storms. The enemy ship followed, firing non-stop. Inside the pod, Raylan tapped into the skimmer's ancient systems. Then he remembered something the Elder said. The bond turns emotion into energy. He closed his eyes. He thought about Alira, her kindness, her strength, her stubborn courage. The mark on his chest burned. The skimmer's weapons pulsed with golden light. Rylan pressed the trigger. A beam of pure energy shot from the skimmer faster, stronger than anything human-made. It struck the enemy ship mid-engine. The ship tilted, spun out, then exploded into a burst of black fire. Alira cried out, half in shock, half in awe. "How?" Rylan returned to the cockpit, breathing hard. "I think I turned love into a missile." They didn't laugh. They couldn't, because just then, the nav screen flashed red. Another ship, much bigger, much darker. It had no lights. No visible weapons. But Rylan knew instantly. It was worse than the last. He stared at it. "That's not the Lorian." Alira nodded slowly. "No, that's something else." They landed in the dead zone deep in a canyon where nothing could follow. 4. Now, inside a small cave, Rylan set up a signal blocker. Alira activated a small holomap from her satchel. "We need allies," she said. "Real ones." Rylan leaned over her shoulder. "Where?" "There's a planet beyond the Red Nebula," she said. "A neutral system. Refugees. Outlaws. But also warriors." Rylan looked at her. "You've been there before?" She nodded. "Once. My mother sent me there when I was young. They owe her a favor." He smiled. "Then let's go cash it in." As they prepared to leave, Rylan looked at her. "You okay?" he asked. Alira nodded. "Better than I've felt in days." "You're sure?" She stepped close, placed a hand on his chest. "Because you're with me." The bond pulsed again. Warm, steady, powerful. But in the shadows, something else pulsed too. A device hidden inside. Alira's SATCHEL- activated. It sent a silent signal. Coordinates. And high above. The canyon. Something very old began to awaken. The truth about the rebels. Rylan stared at the small black device in Alira's SATCHEL. It was blinking. Fast. Silent. A tracking beacon. His heart dropped. He looked at Alira. She was setting up camp near the canyon. "Wall, unaware," he said slowly. "Where did you get this satchel?" She turned. "It's my mother's." "Why?" He held up the beacon. "Because someone's tracking us." Her face went pale. Rylan crushed the device beneath his boot. "We need to move. Now." They launched from the canyon just before the storm hit, but it wasn't weather chasing them. It was a fleet. Black ships, dozens of them, moved through the clouds like shadows with teeth. Rylan gripped the controls. "They're jamming long-range comms." Alira checked the systems. "No palace signals. No Earth signals. We're alone." "Good," Rylan said. "I'm done trusting both." They reached the neutral planet Naraxis V, a rocky world filled with old rebel hideouts and abandoned cities. Alira guided them to a hidden camp deep in the mountains, protected by magnetic fog. There, they met the leader of the outlaws. Her name was Zira, a half-human, half-alien war veteran with a medal, arm and glowing green eyes. "You brought trouble," Zira said, eyeing them both. "And a royal, no less." Alira stepped forward. "You knew my mother. You owe her." Zira laughed. "Your mother kept her promises." "Can you?" Rylan stepped beside her. "She's not alone anymore." Zira looked at him. "You're the bonded one?" "Yes." "Then you're the problem." "And the solution." Inside Zira's war room, they reviewed stolen rebel data. Rylan pointed to a star chart. "These rebel ships? They're using Earth tech, modified engines, cloaking drives, even weapons." Zira nodded, "Because Earth gave it to them." Alira stepped back. "Why would Earth help the rebels?" Zira turned to her. "Because Earth doesn't want peace with Thaler. They want pieces of it tech, territory, power. And the rebels promised it all." Rylan clenched his fists. They sent me here thinking I'd unlock the core, bond with you, and hand it over. But I went off script. Zahra grinned. That's why you're still breathing. That night, Rylan sat alone, staring at the sky. The bond mark on his chest still glowed faintly. Alira sat beside him. You blame yourself, she said. I was used, he replied. Again. So was I, she whispered. But we're not victims anymore. He looked at her. You said this bond was sacred? It is, she said. But now it's also dangerous. And they all want to use Earth, the Council, the rebels. He nodded. Then we destroy it. Alira's eyes widened. What? We kill the power before someone else controls it. She hesitated. But if we do that, I die. Raylan stared at her. What? Alira touched his hand. The crown core is linked to me. It was passed through royal blood. If it's destroyed, I won't survive. And next morning, Zahra took them to a hidden underground base. There, Rylan found something worse than betrayal. He found humans Earth soldiers, working side by side with rebel commanders. They weren't prisoners. They were allies. One of them looked up and froze. Captain Rylan? It was Major Niles, one of Rylan's old commanders. I thought you were dead. Niles said. I should be, Rylan replied. Niles stepped closer. You don't understand. Earth needs control. We can't let aliens outpace us. The bond was always meant to serve us. Rylan stared coldly. You tried to kill her. We tried to reset the mission, Niles said. You got too close. Rylan raised his blaster. You're the enemy now. Before Niles could answer, alarms blared. Outside, the sky burned. Thelorian Council. Warships had arrived. Not to rescue Dot, to clean up. Zahra's voice rang over the base loudspeakers. The Council has launched a purge. They're wiping out Rebel and Earth forces to cover their tracks. We're all targets now. Rylan looked at Alira. She nodded. We end this today? As war broke out above and below the surface, Rylan and Alira made a plan. One final mission. Get to the Crown Core Vault. Hidden beneath Thaler's capital. Destroy the connection. End the war. Save each other or die trying. The warrior and the princess. The sky above Thaler burned red. Council ships fought rebel destroyers. Earth forces turned against each other. Fire lit the clouds. Chaos ruled the stars. And in the middle of it, all two fugitives flew toward this most protected place in the galaxy, the Crown Core Vault. Inside their stolen shuttle. Rylan checked the systems. Shields are holding. Barely. Alira stood beside him, calm but pale. The bond is pushing harder, she whispered. It knows we're close. Rylan looked at her. If we destroy the core, what happens to you? She met his eyes. My body may die, but if the bond survives inside you, I won't be completely gone. Rylan grabbed her hand. That's not good enough, she smiled. It might be all we have. They landed hard, crashing through an old royal gate, deep below the capital ruins. Guards waited. Council assassins, armed with plasma spears and cloaking armor. Raylan stepped out first. Alira walked beside him, her eyes glowing gold. Do not touch her, Rylan warned. One of the assassins lunged, but Alira didn't flinch. She raised her hand, and golden fire burst from her palm. The assassin was thrown into the wall. The rest backed away. Rylan raised his blaster. Move or burn. No one moved again. Inside the vault. The crown core pulsed like a living sun. It floated above an ancient pedestal, wrapped in rings of energy and ancient symbols. Rylan stared at it. That's the thing everyone's killing each other for? Alira stepped forward. It's not just a machine. It's alive. It holds every thought, memory, and emotion of our royal line. And your life is tied to it? She nodded. If I break the link, I die. Suddenly, footsteps echoed behind them. Zahra rushed in, covered in blood. Her metal arm sparked. "They're coming," she said. "Council, rebels, Earth squads, all of them?" Rylan stepped toward the core. "I'll destroy it." Alira grabbed his arm. "No, I have to. Only I can reach the inner bond." He pulled her close. "Then we do it together." She shook her head. "You won't survive the feedback." "I'd rather die than live without you," he said. The bond glowed between them stronger than ever. Even Zahra stepped back. "Whatever happens, make it count." Alira placed her hands on the core. The energy lashed out, screaming. Golden light surged into her body. She screamed, but did not fall. Raylan stepped behind her, placing his hands over hers. The core pulsed once, then shattered into shards of fire. Shockwave tore through the planet. Every ship in orbit went dark. Fleets dropped from the sky. Rebel warships lost control. Earth's tech stopped working. Silence. The war ended in a single breath. Rylan woke up on a quiet hillside. Alive. As he looked down, his bond mark still glowed, but dimmer. Alira was gone. Her body, her voice, her light gone. He sat in silence, but then a whisper in his mind. "I'm still here." He smiled faintly. "Of course you are." Years passed. Thaler was rebuilt. Earth and the Thalorians signed a real peace treaty, no secrets, no lies. And in the center of the capital, a statue stood. The warrior and the princess. 2 hearts. One bond, forever.